In today's video, we are going to talk about what Halloween Horror Nights is and what you can expect at the event.
If you're new here, on this channel we talk about all things theme parks, including updates, news, and tips and tricks for your next theme park vacation. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Hey guys, welcome back. Spooky season is just around the corner, which means HHN is upon us. So in today's video, what we thought we would do is talk about what Halloween Horror Nights is, some of the things that you can expect when you're going to the event. We're also going to catch you up on some of the announcements that have been made so far. We actually just got another house announcement today, as well as some of the things that we expect to see at this year's event.
Halloween Horror Nights is one of the premier Halloween events in the world.
I would probably say the universe. That's a universal pun extremely early in this video.
This year's event is running from September 3rd all the way through October 31st on select nights.
Yeah, it's generally from like Wednesday to Sunday, but it varies.
This is an after-hours, separately ticketed event that usually takes place in Universal Studios. In the past, there has been some spillover into Islands of Adventure.
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Yeah, but we don't expect that to happen this year. This event typically starts at about 6:30 at night and runs until 1 or 2 in the morning.
There are ways you can get into it a little bit earlier, something called Stay and Scream, get you in at like 5:30, 5:45, but we will talk about that in another video.
Like we said, this is a separately ticketed event, so your regular daytime ticket will not get you into Halloween Horror Nights.
No, the only thing that ticket's going to get you is kicked out of studios at like 4:45.
But tickets are currently on sale on Halloween Horror Nights website, as well as in the Universal mobile app. But we'll go ahead and put a link to that website in the description down below. At Halloween Horror Nights, there are 3 different kinds of attractions that you can expect to see, and those are haunted houses, scare zones, and shows.
I would argue that there's a 4th, and that is all the delicious themed food.
There is a lot of delicious food, and I guess you could argue 5 because there are quite a few rides that are open as well.
Oh yeah, like some of the daytime rides like Rip Ride Rocket and things of that nature are open. And they typically have very short wait times because everyone's doing spooky things.
We love the spooky things.
Yeah.
But since 2018, Halloween Horror Nights has had 10 haunted houses, which are a mix of original houses that Universal has created the story for, and IPs that are licensed from TV shows or movies, things like Stranger Things or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But at some of the more recent events, Universal has made some kind of less scary houses with IPs such as Ghostbusters and even Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Universal knocks it out of the park with the production quality of their houses and the casting of scare actors. Everything from the costumes to the design of the houses and even the smells inside.
Give me that fog.
Even the smells inside the houses are unparalleled at other Halloween events. And of course, this is all just fun and games, but we promise that you'll scream at least a few times.
Speaking of houses, we received another house announcement today, the day that we are recording this video. Haunting of Hill House was announced, and if we are going to be completely transparent, we haven't seen the series.
No.
But have no fear, we will have it watched before the event arrives. That's kind of one of our things that we do. We just watch a lot of things that are related to the event leading up to it to just sort of get us in the mood. We also had our first house announcement way back in March. There's been kind of a gap between those two. But that first house announcement was Beetlejuice, of course. And again, it's a house that we are extremely excited about. There's a few other houses that they're not confirmed, but we can make some assumptions about them coming to the event. If you remember last year, we had like a diet HHN or a HHN light or an HHN 29.5. I can keep going. But, and two houses, well, three, showed up at that event. It was the Bride of Frankenstein Lives. You have Revenge of the Tooth Fairy and Beetlejuice. One of those houses has already been announced. So we are pretty confident that we will see those other two return to the event.
Yeah.
Also, apparently unofficially, but officially, we have like an announcement about Puppet Theater. Like, I can't remember. I think it's like December, January, something like that. Yeah, that's really weird. Like, they won't say that it's been announced, but it's been announced. So we'll just wait for unofficial announcement again. But yeah, we fully expect those houses to return. So in a way, we know for sure about 5. I shouldn't say for sure. We know about 5 of the houses that will be at the event for this year.
Scare zones, on the other hand, are outdoor areas of the park that are themed to a particular haunted story. They are riddled with scare actors that are performing fun little shows or chasing you with a chainsaw.
Also fun.
These zones are also a mix of Universal original content and licensed IPs. We have had several questions about scare zones in the past, with people wondering whether or not they occur during the daytime. And the answer to that is no. There's no Halloween Horror Nights activity in the parks outside of the event.
Yeah, you won't avoid all of it. Like, you'll avoid any kind of activity, but you'll still see some stuff.
Right.
There'll be like stanchions, maybe some lights. You might see some decorations in the tree, but they keep it pretty concealed for the most part.
Exactly. So if you're wanting to take your children or maybe a friend that is not a fan of Halloween during the months of September and October, you can be guaranteed that there will not be Halloween Horror Nights activity during the day.
So if you happen to be there at like 2:30 and you start getting chased by somebody with a chainsaw, we highly suggest you run, because it's for reals.
Halloween Horror Nights is also home to some awesome stage shows. In the past, we've seen things like the Bill and Ted show. There was a Jack show at one point. There's also
Might happen again this year.
Ooh. There's also been some really cool dance shows in the past. But in 2019,
HHN 29.
Universal premiered their Marathon of Mayhem Lagoon show, where there was...
Give us another Lagoon show.
The show was projected on fountains inside of the lagoon itself.
So, the way that she just described it really doesn't do it justice.
I agree.
I'll say this. My wife, Anna here, was extremely gorgeous on our wedding day, but that lagoon show at HHN 29 was the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. Honestly, I'm kind of kidding, but I would give so much money to just watch that lagoon show one more time. She will tell you right now, it's probably like a small obsession. I have watched it on YouTube so many times. Like, she'll just come home like on a random Saturday in like March, and I'm just sitting there watching the lagoon show. I thought that was the greatest thing, and I am just begging Universal to make that like something that is here from now on. Like, just have a lagoon show at HHN every year.
Although the houses are what excites us about Halloween Horror Nights, we have never been disappointed by the shows. There have even been times where we didn't really think we were going to enjoy the shows that were there, but we have always had an incredible time. So even if they don't really pique your interest, we really suggest that you do take time at least once to sit down and watch the shows, and you can rest your feet while you enjoy them.
So we will even go as far as saying the same thing for the event. Even if it's something that isn't of interest to you, if you're in the area and you can make it happen, we highly suggest you attend at least one night of Halloween Horror Nights. This event can really change your perspective on horror and haunted houses. it kind of did the same thing for Anna.
Yes, when we first met, so I've always loved Halloween.
Yeah, like sort of. Yeah.
But I've never been a fan of horror, and I've never been a fan of haunted houses. And the first time that I came to this event, I was utterly terrified.
Petrified, like on the plane ride down there, just like, do we have to go to Halloween Horror Nights? And it's like, yes.
I was beyond nervous, especially of the scare zones. I'm not a big fan of being chased with chainsaws, but after my first trip, I fell in love with it. It is such an incredible event, and as long as I can help it, I will not miss another event for as long as it continues.
Alright guys, that wraps up today's video. Let us know in the comment section, what is the first year that you went to Halloween Horror Nights?
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. You can hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you get an alert every time we post a new video.
Spooky season! Thanks for watching!